a little damp. Feels pretty good. It's probably about 40 degrees. I got a bunch of layers of clothes on. I have my cheapo long johns from Walmart. I have a thing by Kiel Boyd or something. It's like a one-piece suit. It's like a onesie. And I have a Harley Davidson sweater. My Harley Davidson jacket. My little Rockman, well, James Dean kind of coat, whatever it's called. And it's really windy. I hope you can hear me okay. This is my very first time out testing a new mic, testing the angles. For all I know, can't see anything except for the sky. Oh yeah, and then I have my Harley Davidson vest on, and I have my Ion Gear heated gloves on, although I don't have the heat turned on. They do pretty darn well just by themselves. It's pretty windy. I'm keeping fairly warm so far. Oh, my chaps. I didn't put my chaps on, daggone it. Well, if I skid and fall, I know what my legs will look like. Also, they also cut down on the wind. But for whatever reason, I'm trying to see if my angle down there on that camera is good. It looks like it's hanging a little low. I might stop up here and adjust it a little higher. And I didn't put my glasses on. I was just in a hurry to try this stuff out, I guess. It's pretty windy in this helmet. I hope it's not pretty windy inside this microphone. It's hard to keep my visor from getting foggy because it's still too cold out, and I haven't figured out how to not get it foggy, even though I've tried some blue and shelters, or the Selsun Blue rather, dander shampoo, layers on it on the inside and outside, and I've tried shaving cream on the inside and outside. I'm either not doing it right, or those tricks just don't work very well, or they work a little bit better and I just can't tell. I've done a lot of cold riding here this summer or winter. Dang, I feel like a 16-year-old wanting to get their license. Well, when they're 15 years old and they just can't wait until they're 16. Summer doesn't feel like it's ever going to come. The warm weather. I think we're supposed to get some snow tonight. I should have pulled into that what used to be alcove, because this light's probably not going to stay red for very long. I'll raise my visor up because it gets foggy, and plus we'll see how it sounds. I got it in neutral. With any luck, I'll have about 3 seconds before this light turns green. I say I'll push that camera down. Excuse me. Alright, I'm gonna leave my visor cracked a little bit. because unless I'm going fast, it fogs up pretty well. So with the gear I have on now, I'm staying comfortable. So it works pretty well. They need to fix that American flag right there, bro. Right now I'm using that cheap $5 microphone that Shades Tree Surgeon uses. I also bought a $50 microphone that one of the dudes uses. No idea who that guy was. I'd have to look on my YouTube visits and the searches. Boy, I just love riding. I just want to ride. I just love speeding up fast. I love going fast. Not going fast now, but I love being on the interstate going 80 to 90 miles an hour. Even on this Harley Davidson. I guess I better shut this because it feels like it's loud. I got a feeling that I might have to change my angle up to the top of my head because of this windscreen. Windscreen gets in my way. It's probably in your way. I need to get a smaller one, I imagine. Right at my eye level. Where I either have to do that or stand up straight. Maybe it's a good excuse to work on my posture. I always turn my head when I make a turn, even though I use my mirrors too. Just a habit that I'll try to keep for the rest of my life, and I've always had it. And it saved me a good time or two in my car from hitting somebody. You just get in that habit of just turning because you don't see anybody or hasn't been anybody around you for a couple miles, a couple minutes, 5 minutes. It's so easy just to hit that turn signal and go right on over. But those habits is what save you when you need saved. I just love this Screaming Eagle, this 110 cubic inches big monster of an engine. Yep, I'm just checking my camera down there to make sure it's still recording. These are GoPro Hero Silver 4s. GoPro 4 Hero Silvers. GoPro Silver Hero 4s. Zero Hero 4 GoPro. Pro Go Hero 4 Silver Gold. I think I'll take this random road, see what's going down on the Hildebrand. The only thing I like about not going fast is it's so loud. You go 70, 80 mile an hour for like an hour, and then your ears hurt. Feel like you've been at the Who or Motley Crue concert or something. Something in the road. My alarm's going off, but I can't touch any buttons with my gloves on. I'm gonna do that real quick. Take my glove off, shut this daggone alarm off. There we go. I do have heated gloves. Heated grips and some gravel there, so I can't put my 110 Screaming Eagle to the test in the gravel. Oh yeah, my heated grips, I can feel them. These gloves right here work really well through this winter. I used them down to 28, 29, 30 degrees and had the heat turned on, and with my heated grips I can feel my heated grips through the gloves, which is good because some gloves are made so that you cannot feel the heated grips through the gloves. So you have to have gloves that are thin enough so you can feel those heat, feel that heat. Matter of fact, when I went to test drive this, when I did test drive it, it was cold out. Oh, it was 45, 40, wasn't terribly cold. But I gave it too much gas getting onto a big road. Spun out. Being the careful driver that I am, I let off the gas instead of just floored it and laid her down like a big macho man Randy Savage would, you know. This is nice, good old country cruising right here. I also like driving slow and just chilling like a villain. Just chilling, going on a random road. I'm gonna get myself lost here. Good thing for good old GPS's if I need it. Coming from you in Indiana. Been waiting for the warmer weather. Excuse me. It is cold out, so I got the sniffles a little bit. I don't like to sniffle, but if I don't just get rid of that junk, it's just going to be there sniffling. You know, in case you didn't really realize or know how a Harley engine differs in its major mechanic than other engines, though that's a pretty creak, is, well, a regular two-cylinder engine, the pistons fire right opposite of one another, like boom, 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 left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. But a Harley Davidson engine goes left, right, left, right, left, right, left, doom, 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 kind of gives that a heartbeat, and that's why it sounds the way it does, uneven, you know. But as you get up to the higher RPM, it all just blends in anyway. Thank you for flying the American flag, brother. And that's what gives Harley Davidson the sound. You can get a Harley Davidson, well, the V-Rod, it's more advanced, but Harley discontinued it because I guess they didn't sell enough. Makes sense, would be the reason why. but that thing gets up and go. But that's a more modern engine. Harley-Davidson usually gets accused of having low-tech, age-old technology in their motorcycles, but that's not true. If Harley-Davidson stopped sounding like a Harley-Davidson, people quit buying the dang things, you know? People want them to sound like a Harley-Davidson. It is sprinkling. I don't have my rain suit with me. I see some drizzle coming down my helmet, and I see some drizzle on the windshield. I don't mind the rain at all, really. I don't, providing that I have my rain suit on, because I keep perfectly dry. So then the only bad thing about riding in the rain, I think, is not having windshield wipers on your visor. And it fogs up, and then you open your visor, and then my glasses will fog up, and then I take my glasses off, and then the rain is pegging me in the eye. That's the only thing that let's see, is this Main Street? Yeah, I want to take a left here. Going back home before I get drenched. My spots aren't on. There, I think they are now. I think it's supposed to rain tonight. Either that or snow or both. Or at least that's what the forecast says. There's that pretty creek. My plans have changed. I originally wanted to take this sickle and just drive anywhere, didn't care. Take my one-man tent, my new Kelty one-man tent, got a great deal on it at Dick's Sporting Goods, and just camp wherever I landed. Find a place behind a church or something in the dark where just nobody would notice me until maybe the morning, and just camp there and get back on the sickle and keep driving. But that's on my to-do list. If I had the opportunity to take off of work and not have my kids for a week, I would do that for a solid week. Just travel, probably go west or south. I traveled across the U.S. a few times, from Virginia Beach to California Beach, Pacific Beach. From the Pacific to the Atlantic, or from the Atlantic to the Pacific. So I've done a bit of traveling, but I've never been to a lot of states like Florida, Maine, New York, all those states up there. I haven't been really down south. I just went straight west, been up to Oregon, up and down that coast a bit. There's a horsey, lots of horsies. The wind doesn't bother me too much unless I get a big gush. But even then, it really doesn't bother me. I'm pretty confident, pretty comfortable in this big motorcycle. For about 10, 12, 13, 15 years, I don't know. I drove motorcycles, but they were always smaller. A Honda Shadow. So it took a little bit to get used to this thing. And I'm not quite used to it still. I still want to go to a parking lot and practice my 180 turns, get those tight, practice my friction zone and my braking. I need to practice that technique. I have a little bit, but the fact is I haven't driven much. Well, I guess I have put about 4,000 miles on since Thanksgiving. of 2017. This is 2018 now, the end of March. I've about only done cold weather riding in this thing. See, I turn that head. I know it's not fun to look at on the screen, I imagine. I try to keep my head still so that it doesn't look like I'm a bobblehead. For your viewing pleasure. Is that another sickle up there? No, just a car. Just a regular old boring car. Little gush of wind, I had to correct a little bit there. I used to ride my bicycle the lowest that I could to the ground. I'd be standing about upright and my bicycle handlebars, the whole bike, my handlebars and the seat would be about touching the ground. The only thing that would keep me from going a little bit lower was my pedal. And I would get some momentum, some kinetic energy going, and I would excuse me, grab the left handlebar, put the bike to the ground, and I'd still be rolling. And you adjust your steering wheel so that you still go straight. I rode a lot of bicycle growing up. Grew up in the country. I rode hundreds, if not thousands of miles, I'm sure. I would ride my bike to town, which is about 15 miles. Ride around all day long, 8 hours, 10 hours, whatever. Ride 15 miles back home. I did that regularly, or I would just ride around on all the back roads that I grew up in. Hours and hours. On a 20-inch bike, no 10-speed, no fancy gear shift bike. Just a good old BMX 10 or a 20-inch bike. Single speed. Well, I haven't seen any sprinkles again. I must be going away from the weather. Boy, I love riding. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to switch this angle. I'll get back and I'll get it on the computer, take a look at it. I may put the video out anyway, I'm not sure, because I ain't about making a big old professional channel. I just want to put out some stuff. Thank you for flying that American flag, brother. Thank you for flying that American flag, brother. I already thanked him, I think. Well, thank you again, brother, for flying that American flag. And thank you for flying that American flag. You need to repair it though. I mean, to get a new one, learn how to fly that thing. Be respectful of it. I have an American flag ordered to put on my motorcycle. I love the feeling of those torque, that torque. Just look at that creek. I love the creeks. Love the water. I'm gonna have me a sailboat one day in the pond. This is a good day to ride, actually. Man, it feels good. I'm not a bit cold. I got a yield sign, brother. Go ahead. One thing that I finally am glad I get the privilege to do is whine about traffic while moto vlogging. No, I don't really whine about traffic. Not too much. I think I'm more respectful than your average Joe in traffic. Slow poke usually doesn't bother me. You know, they're going the speed limit. Why should that bother me? It really shouldn't, because they're going the speed limit. If I want to go hunky-dory and go more than the speed limit, I'll get on the interstate or go on a back road or something, or wait until the coast is clear, whatever. Man, I'm perfect temperature right now. I feel negative without my chaps though. If I was to get in a wreck, I'm protected everywhere except my legs. I got my Harley boots on. Oh yeah, I got a thick pair of wool socks on. These boots are waterproof. They proved themselves to not be 100% waterproof after I was, I don't know, rode in the rain one day or something. So I got me a custom mixture, made it my own, of candle wax and Vaseline. Mixed that and boiled it in a can in a kettle of water, and applied that to my boot. Warmed my boot up with a hairdryer. Put that junk on it. Let it sit overnight or a couple days or something, whatever it was. And I drove all day long in the rain one time. Played in the snow all day long. Well, maybe 3 or 4 hours. Put them in the water, and they're waterproof now, I tell you. I think my theory is, unless your boot is Gore-Tex, and even Gore-Tex will tear after a few years that I've heard or read, maybe a shorter time, is you got to waterproof your own boots, even if they say waterproof. My hands are getting pretty warm. Turn my heated grips down a little bit. But there's my controls, all the way up to 6. I think I had them on 5. I don't know, put it down there on 2.5 or something. I even have an air temperature gauge. I think it says 40. It feels like it's 45 maybe. I bet you it's more like 45. I'm actually kind of hot. These Harley engines, I think this one's here is designed to be revved a little higher. You know, around the 3 to 4 range. When you're going cruising and you're just kind of like this, yeah, but if you want to speed off, you need to take off at least 3,000 RPM, downshift. Like right there, I wouldn't even, it would have that tingle, that tink, tink, tink sound in my engine if I would have rammed it right there. Ha ha!